Working from home can make reading the room during a team meeting really difficult. And have you really had a meeting today if no one said you're on mute? Hi, everyone. I'm Jeff Doolittle, and I'm going to break down for you today how to build real connections in a virtual workplace. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Leadership is a relationship, and without human connection, leaders have to rely on positional power to influence others. And using power can appear to work, but it really comes with some harmful business and personal side effects. Genuine relationships are just not easy to achieve online, and studies reveal that contextual clues and emotions are much more difficult to discern online. Mastering the intangible art of building virtual connections is an essential skill for today's leaders, especially those working in a hybrid workforce. So one of 5 global leadership megatrends identified in the 2021 leadership forecast by DDI is that leaders crave more time to spend building connections with their teams. And the hybrid workplace has just increased the feelings of isolation, and leaders need these connections to influence and engage their teams. Also, they need real connections because limited in-person interactions negatively impact mental health. Building connections is establishing a meaningful, committed relationship between 2 or more people. And a hybrid workplace is just a flexible model that supports distributed employees and those that work maybe in more dedicated shared workspace offices. So when you think of connection, a synonym is relationship. Now, psychological distance and the use of technology present some real hidden threats to anyone trying to establish a virtual connection in the workplace. Increased psychological distance decreases feelings of belongings that are fundamental to trust and communication. Being virtual increases the degree to which people feel removed from each other, and additionally, increased distance limits the ability to read the room and get a feeling for the atmosphere. When building connections, it's so critical. When employees and leaders are virtual, spontaneous encounters, walking by the hallway, are typically limited and compared to being when you're in that same physical space. Informal, spontaneous interactions they're important because they increase the frequency of communication and the sharing of more personal information that enhance relationship and trust, like, are you sick? Are you not feeling well? Those things that you just come up in passing, but not so much when at a formal meeting. The less employees see each other, the more anonymous they also begin to feel. And technology creates some real potential for increased anonymity due to the limited visibility of each other. Anonymity then raises the potential for misunderstandings, and especially during challenging conversations where these visual cues really convey emotion. Building virtual communities in the workplace can be a powerful tool for real connection. And a community is a group defined by a shared social identification among its members, and it can be a vital source of support during times of crisis. Social identity theory suggests that we share identity with individuals with whom we associate. And as a result, we're more likely to trust and influence those individuals and groups with whom we do associate than those that we do not. In conversations, we tend to find communication more comfortable and more productive with those we consider us versus we consider them. And according to the social identity theory, we're more motivated to be receptive mentally to be able to fully process communications with those that we identify. Shared social identity then increases both help giving and social bonding, and increases feelings of belonging among community members. And these communities then produce solidarity and support for one another. And communities just generate a wide range of health benefits, including a sense of belonging, reduced depression, anxiety, trust, increased self-esteem. Peer advisory groups and communities of practice and affinity groups can be very practical solutions that are popular for being virtual forms of communities. Now, peer advisory groups are typically serve as an informal board of directors for a leader. They listen, they advise, debate, and through shared experiences, they're acting as a personal advisor, requesting member commitment, confidentiality, and collaboration to get involved just really helps these groups succeed. These groups also benefit from engaging an experienced moderator to help maximize the value of the meeting. Similar now to peer advisory groups are the idea of virtual communities of practice. Now, a virtual community of practice is a group with a common set of concerns, knowledge, and experience on a given topic that's meeting online. As the name implies, these online communities then are centered around practice, where online peer advisory groups are focused more on the role of the person. And a community of practice focuses on creating best practices for niche domains where the members possess probably some real specific knowledge and understanding. Online and affinity groups are inclusive to individuals from diverse backgrounds, but interested in a shared goal. Now, while they share a common goal, many may not have the expertise to achieve the goal itself and be aware of best practices. Now, here's some practical strategies for building virtual connections. Like there are numerous challenges to establishing virtual connections, there are many potential strategies for how to go about doing this. The key is to overcome the virtual workplace challenges of identity construction, social facilitation, and building trust. And the following I'm going to cover with you are just some research-proven strategies for building these real virtual connections. Now, how to create a shared social identity online, you could do it a few ways. First, sharing visual clues. When using video calls, have each person turn on the camera as a sign of respect. Now, this will also increase the opportunity to observe each other, their facial expressions, their surroundings, and build some of that connection. You can foster informal communication by scheduling times like virtual coffee breaks for checking in with others. Informal communication builds relationships and creates these shared experiences. So these types of opportunities are less likely to happen, though, in a virtual environment. So you have to be focused and really proactive in scheduling them to occur. Now, social recognition is another way. So you can look for opportunities to say thank you. Use reinforcement survey to find out what motivates each other, and then put it on a shared drive so that you can each access. And then you don't wait until the end of the year to provide this feedback. Give it to them in the moment as to recognizing them for what they're doing. Recognition is powerful. You want to leverage the power of positive influence of social facilitation as well. And while working from home, presence really matters. So although technologies has its limitations compared to physical proximity, research supports that digital presence decreases adverse effects of anonymity. So establish strategies to be present with each other, such as turning on your cameras during a video call or working as if you were sitting across from each other with your cameras on and just engaging in the conversation. That can build that influence of social presence. You also want to build trust in the virtual workplace, and you do that by being open and candid. It demonstrates caring and demonstrates respect. The best way to create safety is to model vulnerability. You have to be willing to have a courageous conversation online. Additionally, humble leadership is powerful, and it does not need to be an oxymoron. There's a high degree of self-orientation. When you have that and you're focused on yourself, it creates significant distrust from others. So you want to spend time listening to others, know your strengths and your weaknesses, and then ask for feedback and help when needed. Adopt a coaching mindset as well. Use the following 5-question model by Michael Bungay-Stanier to listen. And the goal here of the conversation is to get curious, listen, and be helpful. So question number 1. Just start off the conversation with, what is on your mind? Question number 2, what's the real challenge here? What is it that you're really facing? Number 3, anything else? And number 4, what do you want? And number 5, close with, was this useful? Was it helpful? Remember that genuine relationships are not easy to achieve online. The hybrid workplace has increased feelings of isolation in the workplace. Building connection is powerful and meaningful to individuals. Psychological distance and the use of technology present some real hidden threats to anyone trying to establish real connections. And communities can be have a wide range of health benefits, such as a sense of belonging and reduced depression and anxiety. The key is to overcome workplace challenges of identity construction, social facilitation, and building trust. Hey, visit our executive coaching page to learn more about how we could help you achieve personal and professional goals, or partner with you to craft a solution specific to your organization's contexts and challenges. Getting started is just as easy as going out to our website and setting up a time for us to talk. We'd love to hear from you.